Is it just me, or were people way happier in 2014 compared 2024? You should check out the 90s compared to anything post 9/11. I was pretty happy during the COVID shutdowns. I worked, but a straight 95. Highways were empty. It took me 25 minutes to get to work. I got home by 5:30 p.m. and had time to make dinner, make my lunch for the next day, clean the dishes, and still had like 4 hours to work out, relax, read, listen to music, watch something on streaming. I went to bed before 11 p.m., got up just after 7 a.m., slept well, wasn't stressed, and actually lost weight, like 20 pounds. It was beautiful. Now, my life is hell. I'm overworked. Traffic is stressful. I work weird hours. And I'm tired all the time. I don't remember anything particularly great about 2014. But it wasn't hellish either. I guess that's something. Ain't really much to be happy about, TBH. People were stressed out back then too. Not just you. I was much happier. I have more money and freedom now, but just not happier for some reason. Actually, it's been since COVID. I was happy until then. No COVID, no Trump. American politics were normal. And the Patriots had won 3 fewer Super Bowls. More people lived in blissful ignorance back then. I think a major problem we're seeing these days is the proliferation of social media and algorithms. This stuff existed to an extent in 2014, but it has become so incredibly honed and perfected now. The main problem with all the algorithms is that the social media and news companies have figured out that the best way to boost engagement is to feed people news that A, they agree with, and B, that evokes a strong emotional reaction, particularly anger or fear. We're at the point now that the algorithm figures out what you like and just feeds it to you on a loop, while also playing into a sense of fear and despair so that you keep coming back. For example, if it figures out that you like Biden, it'll feed you plenty of stories about how great Biden is doing, while also feeding you stories about how crazy Trump is. If you like Trump, it'll do the exact opposite. My brother and I are on opposite sides of the political spectrum, and we regularly send each other political stuff. It's not uncommon for one of us to send the other stories that we've never seen because our algorithms know we wouldn't like them. This has led to people having completely different sets of facts and fundamentally different understandings of reality. It's no wonder that we view our political opponents as evil, because there can be no other explanation given the version of reality we're being fed by our algorithm. There's also the way that all our technology isolates us from one another. We work from home, interacting with people though Zoom and Slack, DoorDash, Amazon, and even the Walmart app get us whatever we want delivered quickly and without the need to interact or talk to another person. Even apps for meeting people reduce them down to a simple commodity that you swipe left or right on. Don't want to meet with someone? Well, now we have porn. And even AI girl and boyfriends that you can try out. Of course, many of these things existed in some form in 2014. But we have perfected them in 2024. All these apps and algorithms are carefully designed to keep you hooked on them, and the best way to do that is to keep you angry or fearful while giving you plenty of dopamine hits. Once you finally put your phone down, you realize that your life is empty and meaningless, but there's not much you can do. So you might as well DoorDash some dinner and see what's trending on TikTok in a futile effort to fill the void in your soul. 1994 enters the chat. Personally, I was 5 minutes away from killing myself in 2014, but you know, people were happier in the 90s. Being happy in 2014 was like a sort of happiness born of ignorance. So perhaps they really were happier. Nostalgia is a hell of a drug. Besides that, COVID really did a number on everyone. Either by getting it, or hearing all the conspiracies, or knowing people who died. No one knew what the answer was, so we had to rebuild society and figure out how to live around other humans again. I'm pretty happy now, but 2014 was the absolute peak of my life. I was attending my dream college and was having the best time of my life every day. Well, in 2014, Nazis were still afraid to march around proudly and influence politics. I was paying $1,250 for an apartment bigger than my MIL's house. So yeah, I was happier. Pre-COVID, pre-Trump, pre-accelerated climate change, pre-Ukraine conflict, pre-Gaza massacre, pre-spike in U.S. school shootings, pre-rise in fascist and fascist-adjacent ideology, things just really accelerated the last 10 years. You were younger back then, and your memory is selective. People tend to remember the best days in the past, which are more often fewer and far between. Nope, 2014 sucked assholes also. I don't necessarily think so. But bad news travels fast, and now there's just so many ways to get news fast. I don't know. My depression was at its worst in 2014.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. TooAfraidToAsk is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.